People. Que pasa, sac passe, what they do. Welcome to Crime Time News, where the difference is in the meds. Call it news with a buzz. First thing that is popping in the news. It is called how one goes from being petty thief, jump over people fence, thief them ackee, thief them guinea, and then go sell, graduating to breaking into people's shop, people's house, people's businesses. I am speaking about a young man that was taken away maybe about a week or so ago. His name is Dwayne Logan, more affectionately known as Lottie. Lottie is one or was one of St. Thomas' biggest menace to society, hitman for hire, petty thief, turn murderer. However, Lottie would meet his demise at the hands of the Popo after taking away a couple of people, and the worst mistake that he made, he took away an officer. District Constable, his name is Mr. Forsyth, that was in St. Thomas. Now, Lottie came from a good family. Lottie's father is more affectionately known as Tita Board, not Tweeter Board, but the fact that he has a whole bunch of teeth. Him kinda look like Beetlejuice. His mother's name is Janet. These are what we would consider to be the average, typical Jamaican family. So therefore, he came from a home that most Jamaicans would consider to be average, not well-to-do. But him did just thief, him ears hard, him start jump over people fence, thief everything where him can find and go sell until him start broke in a people's shop. Now people, it is said that Lottie start to hang out with the neighborhood, shatter them. Them realize, listen, this boy are trouble, you know. Maybe he would be good for the gang. He is from a place called Navarre. People call it Laval Lane. You know that in St. Thomas, Laval Lane is in war with Blacksmith Lane. So therefore, them not like each other. So therefore, Lottie would have been a very good recruit because him have that criminal instincts. The other day I spoke about a man that lost his life at a construction site. His name is Pertz. Lottie was the top shooter, one of the shooters for Laval Lane. They was looking to wipe out Pertz. So the first victim that Lottie got, based on what most persons of the area know about, is a person called Bert. Bert lost his life because they were looking for Pertz, and Lottie was not really bright, so therefore him here say Bert there so, and him go over there thinking it is Pertz, so therefore he lost his life, mistaken identity. Now there is conflicting reports as to who the second or third victim was. Some people said that it was an ex-Popo officer. His name is Andrew Thomas. However, word on the street, it is said that he took away a person named Duppy Judge. That person is from Babylon Lane, a next adjoining lane close to Lavar Lane, Blacksmith Lane, in the vicinity of Seaforth. Now the next person that he is said to have taken away their life is a lady known as Tiana. However, she is more affectionately known as Toki. Toki is a business owner. Toki owns some sort of shop. And like I told you, Lottie, his job is breaking into people's house, people's shop, people's business. When Lottie broke into Tookie's shop, she went to the Paw station in a Seaforth and she made a complaint. It is said that one of the Paw that works at the Paw station went back and told Lottie that Tiana, Tookie, made some sorts of reports. It was when Lottie went back and blazed up Tookie, Tiana in our shop. Based on the information that I am getting, it is said that Tookie's auntie is in some sorts of relationship, SEXUAL, from a top cop in the Seaforth area. So therefore, whenever he breaks into people's shop, that officer would tell him if anybody file any sorts of reports. People, do you see exactly what is going on? Now, based on word on the street, it is said that after Lottie took away Tookie, Tiana, the people from LL3R Lane start to say, boy, this youth Lottie, he might get carried away. He needs some sorts of timeout. He needs some sorts of suspension. He needs to be badness reprimanded. So therefore they decide that, listen, we are going to run him out of town. We are going to take away that tool from him because he is doing too much damage. Even for a gangster, him too hot. He might hot up the place. That was when it is said that he decided that, listen, since them people want to take back them gun, me know one little man down a Search Island, he is a maintenance manager down there. Me hear say him have some sorts of tool. So therefore, I am going to go by there and I am going to take him away and I am going to take that tool. Word on the streets, him take Mr. Dean's tool and then he also took Mr. Dean's life. A couple days later, there's an elderly, well-respected lady in the neighborhood. She's about 60-something year old. Her name is Annie. It is said that Lottie broke into Annie's house. Annie went to the Paw station, filed some sorts of reports, and again, the Paw told Lottie that Annie filed some sorts of report upon him for breaking her house. He went and he decided he wanted to take out Annie. However, that tool that he had now, Mr. Dean's tool, it seems as if when him go for Annie, Annie either had God on her side, Annie either lucky, Annie either had some sorts of Obeah from St. Thomas. It is said that him select, try to pipe her up at least 3 times. Annie jump out of the house, run through the back door, jump in a some sorts of gully, almost broke her foot, take away herself from her house. Based on word on the street, it is said that this man have the place under siege. Up to this day, it is said that Annie is still running. Annie has not returned to LL3R Lane or where she come from as yet. After Tookie, after Annie, the people them start say, we tell this boy, I say what? Give up the tool and get the FUCK out of town. It is said that them burned down the house in which Lottie used to stay. What do you think that Lottie did? Lottie go back and burn down some other people's house. Lottie on the loot once again. Based on the information, it is said that after he left LL3R Lane, he went to a place called Pato Gully. He was sparring with the gangster them over there. He was still doing the same thing. It is said that his name called up on the broken into at least 8 houses, several businesses, including Seaforth High School. Him broken at the cafeteria, thief out meat, thief out cheese, thief out the money, biscuit, you name it, anything Looty could loot, he was looting. So people, me just assure you, this youth was actually the menace to society if we've ever heard about it. Him a do petty crime, broke in a people's shop, broke in a school, broke in a everywhere. However, he was also a top KILLER. He was feared. He had the whole of Seaforth, Lovar Lane, Blacksmith Lane, Pato Gully under siege. But the clock was ticking. His time was running short. It is said that Looty went to a place called York. Him a broke in a house. A little boy a walk past. Hear the commotion, hear the noise. Alert the po-po. But sadly, the po-po that showed up on the scene of the crime was a district constable known as Mr. Forsyth. That district constable did not have any sorts of tool. It is said that he was coming from the ball ground. Me no know if him leave him tool at the house or he did not take home the tool from the job. When he went by to investigate after hearing about the broken at the house incident, him buck up on Looty. Looty had the tool that he had relieved from Mr. Dean. It is said that Looty gave him a couple of pieces in his head, in the upper body. He lost his life. After all of those break-ins, after having Seaforth, Lovar Lane, Pato Gully, York under siege, it was time for the po-po to get rid of Looty. Looty was getting carried away. Looty was doing major damage. That was when the po-po and some sorts of special operation plan for him, plan for take him out. Them buck up on him right there so at the roundabouts, and people, them fix him business straight. They sent him to the afterlife. You could see the pictures, all sorts of hole in him eye, all sorts of hole in him head back, all sorts of hole in his upper body, upper torso. And people, he deserved it. Moral of the story: not everybody that you see that are criminals come from any sorts of dysfunctional home. Sometimes the parents bring them up the best way that they can under the circumstance. However, when pickney bad, them bad. And Looty, he was the worstest of them. He was the menace to society in a Seaforth, responsible from any sorts of crime, looting down to SHOOTING, down to taking away multiple lives. The people in a Seaforth, needless to say, they are rejoicing. Adios and goodbye, never to come back again. Point blank and period. So anyways people, thanks once again for checking out my video. If you appreciate videos like this, please show your appreciation by liking, commenting, sharing and subscribing to my channel. That is how YouTube promotes videos like these to like-minded, sensible persons like yourself. Bless up.